Good afternoon, YouTube fam. Good afternoon, traders. I know it's been a month since I did my last video. Please don't chew me up, man. I've been getting the messages. When you gonna drop another video? When you gonna drop another video? I'm doing my best this year. At least I'm a little more consistent. All right. People don't realize like dropping back to back videos is a lot of work, man. That's why I really don't get so fancy with my YouTube channels with like intros, editing this and that and that. Like it's a lot, man. Shout out to all the content creators out there. Like I give you guys credit. Like this crap is a full-time job, but I've had a lot go on. I've had a lot been going on. Just 2 months of just working behind the scenes with different projects that I'm really excited about. Hopefully you guys, your first quarter of this year has been amazing. This is the last week of the first quarter, and it's vital to your success. I tell people, man, you really want to start the year off always strong. You'd be surprised how fast the year goes. You'd be so surprised, right? Next Friday is the first week of April, and then April's a short month. Then you're basically in May, June, summertime's here, and then before you know it, end of the year, holiday season, boom, the year is done. Then you're gonna ask yourself what you've been doing, right? So I'm gonna try to, be a little more consistent as far as just releasing videos, probably like every week or every other week. Probably give me 2 weeks. I don't want to say every week and then not do it. And then you guys start hitting me up in the emails. Where's the videos? Where are the videos? But I appreciate all the feedback, all the people reaching out who's loved the content so far. As always forgot to say this at the beginning of the call, but you guys know what to do, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment below, give me feedback. I always love that. And, I'll respond back as we go. So I just wanted to get on here, just show you guys some tricks. Well, not really tricks, but just better understanding. That's really what my channel's always been about, just a better understanding of the financial markets. Whether you're trading crypto, Forex, indices, stocks, whatever. I always say this, you can use my strategy for anything, any market, any time frame, whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. You just got to work on your craft. All right, so let's get into it. So today we're going to just talk simply about like trend reversals and knowing exactly when to get in. So actually I have a couple examples, right? I want to go on my Instagram real quick. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't, right? And this is a perfect example. So today we're going to discuss like when a trend reversal is about to happen, right? So as you can see here, right? Trend reversal, boom, price is on a downtrend, right? And you know you're on a downtrend because you're getting lower lows, right? You're getting lower lows. And you know you're in an uptrend because you get higher highs, right? But what's that key? Well, how do you know when the trend is about to reverse? So as you can see here, it's getting lower and lower, right? And then you have that change of the direction. Basically, to make this easy, the last lower high on a downtrend, that last lower high, you need price to break above it. Break it, right? So I always say break of structure, come back and retest, right? And we're going to talk about retesting into where, okay? And then you get your move to the upside, all right? That's pretty much how you'll know during a downtrend, price is about to reverse, right? This is another example right here. I want you guys to look at this, all right? I saved some great examples that I've seen on IG. So prices in a downtrend, you see these lower lows being created. Basically the last lower high, right? And as you can see here, that BOS, that break of structure, boom, right? Boom. And notice, this is what most people do. They get into trade right after the break of structure. And I tell people, no, don't do that. I used to do that myself. And then I used to catch always used to get in trouble, used to get in bad drawdowns, right? But as you can see here, price will always come back and rally to come back to that entry point, that original, right? That original area where price broke structure. And that's where you want to take your entry to the upside, right? So these are two great examples. If I go back to the other one, right? If I go back to the other one, same thing. When price broke structure, came back, boom, take off, right? Back into this demand zone right here. And then you had your move to the upside. So let's look at this all on TradingView. Like How are you going to actually catch this when the market is, whether it's in an uptrend or a downtrend, right? So perfect example, let's identify these two downtrends right here, right? Downtrend here and downtrend here, right? I'm on the daily. Now I always advise guys, use the daily, weekly, sometimes even the monthly, right? We've all seen the JPY shoot to the moon basically this month, okay? So if you go based off the monthly, yes, just been going up. But when you look left, price is actually in a nice supply zone, on a monthly supply zone. So expecting some type of reversal action. Probably this week, price will start to pull back, but we'll get into that later on, right? Let's focus on these downtrends when price was pulling back on the daily, right? So on the daily, we got this. And always draw your trend lines, guys. Always draw. You'd be surprised when you're drawing your trend lines, how helpful it is for you. Okay. Now remember, the market, the banks, they don't care about your trend lines. So I'm not saying the trend lines are the holy grail. It just helps you as a trader, as an analyst, to understand what you're marking up. All right. So when I go to the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, that downtrend looks a lot clearer. So again, how do I know I'm in a downtrend? Well, we just came from this uptrend here, right? We were getting higher highs, and what comes with higher highs? Higher lows, right? Price broke, structure, boom. This would be your first lower low because it's lower than the last higher low, right? It can't be a higher low because this is lower than the higher low right here. So now this is your first lower low, all right? Then pulled back, that's your first lower high. It's not a higher high because it did not exceed this previous higher high, right? It's only a higher high if the next wave up is higher than the previous high. It's only a lower high if the next wave up is higher than the previous lower high. So, right, so this is a lower low. This is a lower high. This would be a lower low. Some of you guys were probably thinking right here, this is a lower low. It can't be. It's equal, right? It did not create a lower low here. So that's equal, all right? Came up, that's a lower high. Why? Because it's lower than the previous lower high, all right? Let me notate this so I don't lose you guys. LL is lower low, so we'll abbreviate that, lower low. So LL stands for lower low, lower high, LH, right? And then this is equal, right? EQ. These are equal lows. Broke. Now this is a lower low because it's lower than this lower low. Lower high. It is lower than this lower high. All right. And then so on and so forth. Then you got another lower low, lower high, so on and so forth, right? All the way down to the last lower low, right? To the last lower low. So the last lower high would have been right over here. See, remember the pullbacks. It's always the pullbacks. This was the last lower high. So look what price did. Came down. It broke structure. Now remember, you never buy or sell during the breakout. Never, ever, ever. Guys, never, ever, ever buy or sell during the breakout. I don't care how great that breakout looks. Do not buy or sell. All right. I'm telling you, I've blown so many accounts. I'm telling you, I've blown so many accounts doing that. All right. You don't want to do that. Always wait for a pullback. Always wait for a retest. But notice what's key here, right? This was the move that broke to the upside. Notice how price came back and retest. All right. It retest to the bottom here, right in this POI. All right. And let me highlight this. All right. This POI, this area right here. What's a POI? A POI is a point of interest. POI, point of interest. And you always, right? And about, I would say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, they'll look like engulfing candles, right? They'll look like engulfing candle. So this is an engulfing candle. This bullish candle is about 3 times bigger than this bearish, the body of it, right? And notice how price, let me zoom back out here, right? This would be a point of interest. Notice how price comes back, all right? Now, it didn't drop all the way in, okay? And sometimes I always tell people, especially when you're on the higher time frame, there are times when you have to go down to the smaller time frame to catch that earlier entry, right? It's like trying to catch the bus early, all right? So I got a point of interest here. Now, I want you to also notice something, right? Remember, let me remove this. Let me go back to that example. See where this example right here, when I was creating the lower lows, the lower lows, the lower lows, the lower lows, right? Change of direction. You have that first break of structure. Let's go back to the charts. I got that change of direction, right? Thanks. Right? Price came up. This was that change. This was that BOS. All right. CHC, just for those wondering, that's actually change of character, change of character or BOS, right? Break of structure. All right. So price broke break of structure and retested. Since this was the main move that broke structure right here, right? Where did it originate from? Right here. So basically, what was the last bearish candle before this bullish move up? All right. Your point of interest, how you identify it, it's always the last candle before that aggressive move up. So if you're looking for an uptrend, basically it's the last bearish candle before the bullish move, right? If you're looking for a downtrend, right, this would be equivalent. This would actually up here. Let me erase this. Actually, just erase all this. This candle right here would be a point of interest. Why? Again, you had your break of structure, retest, boom. This was the last bullish candle before this bearish move down, right? So to come back here, I had my change of direction, my BOS. And then look when price come back to retest. So this is why I wanted to use this as an example. It's a great example. Change direction, change of character, you had your BOS, and then came back and retest. So it was based off the move that caused the first change, the first sign of a trend reversal, that change of direction, that BOS, that break of structure. Boom. Look what it did, right? It pulled back inside of that impulsive move. So inside of that impulsive move, ladies and gentlemen, that is where, so this move right here, this is where you want to find your point of interest, that impulsive move there, because that's what caused this BOS. All right, that's what caused this BOS. Okay, so now I'm looking for basically the last bearish candlestick before this bullish move up. So where do you think the last bullish candle before that bearish move up is? Right here. And you always want to take the entire candle, right? So basically not just the body. I like to take the body and the wick, right? And as you can see, price comes back into that zone. So me personally, what I like to do, what I like to look for is, one, based on the time frame I'm trading on. So since we're doing this on the 4-hour, I would either wait for a 4-hour bullish candle, which I got over here, or I can go down to the lower time frames, probably 1 or 2, maybe try the 30-minute, right? Go down to the 50-minute. Obviously, you want to practice this once you get used to it, and then you'll be able to utilize any time frame that you want, all right? Any time frame that you want. I always get asked this questions in the comments. Can you use this on stocks? Can you use this on the 15-minute, the 5? Guys, you can do it on any time frame that you want. The reason why I always tell people do it on the higher time frame, because it's stronger confirmation. All right. Do you want a strong confirmation? Do you want a weak confirmation? All right. So once price starts getting in here, you can do one or two things. All right. Once it gets into that zone. Okay. Notice on this 30-minute, this is actually a 30-minute downtrend. So exactly what we did here on the bigger time frame with this bigger move to the downside. Right? You want to wait for the last lower high to break before buying. Right? So this was the last lower high. Price broke, retest, then buy. So I would just be repeating that process on the smaller time frame. So clear on the 30-minute, I wasn't able to clearly see that last lower high. I wasn't really able to see. But if you go down to a smaller time frame and you keep chopping it down, you'll find your last lower high. So I want you guys to see this. Right? So we're all on the same page. Right? Price is coming down. Lower, 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 lower. Right? Again, what's my last lower high? My last lower high is this. Right? So look, that's my change of direction. That's my BOS. Notice how it pulled back. And look where it pulled back. Not only did it pull back inside of the bigger zone, the 4-hour zone here, but what was the last bearish candle before the bullish move up? What was the last bearish candle before the bullish move up? This candle right here. For that bullish move up, that broke structure. So now this is where I want to get my entry. I enter inside here, right? Stop loss below, all right? Or pretty much outside of the zone there, right? We want tight risk to reward. So if I'm entering here, stop loss there, about 17 pips. We can obviously reduce it based on going to a smaller time frame. And look at your reward all the way to the upside. Voila. Right? All based on this example right here. Right? The moment price, boom, causes that break of structure, you wait for price to pull back, right? Based on that impulsive move, the impulsive move that broke structure. That's where you look for your POI candle. Let it pull back inside there, and there's your entry, either to the upside, to the downside, right? So that was an example to the upside, right? That was a downtrend, reversing and going to the upside. So let's do an uptrend going into a downtrend, right? We're going to take it easy today, right? So check this out, right? So this was, let's say we got these uptrends right here. I'll use this one right here. So I have to scroll all the way back when I go down to the smaller time frame. I hate scrolling. Boom. Remember, identify your trend. So look, I got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, right? Higher lows, right? Notice this was the high point. Notice, actually, this would probably be a higher low, right? This right here would be the higher low because we're still in this upward trend. This was not a higher high. It did not break beyond here. Look, I got my break of structure. So this impulsive move right here. That impulsive move right here, guys. This impulsive move right here. So where is the last bullish candle before this bearish move down? That would be this candle right here. Bearish move, yes. You got some bullish moves right here and then move down. That caused this break of structure. Right? So now, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for price to come back inside this zone. Boom, boom. And again, what am I looking for? I can do one or two things. I can wait on the time frame I'm trading on, wait for that bearish or bullish candle. So when it was in the downtrend, when this happened, right? When this happened, you were basically waiting for a bullish candle to go to the upside. Now I'm waiting for a bearish candle because I'm looking to sell, right? I'm in a supply zone. So I'll wait for a bearish candle, and then from there, I'm looking to take my sell. Or I can go down to the smaller time frame, 15-minute, 5-minute, whatever. There we go. And I'm doing the same thing. I can do the exact same thing. All right, I can do the exact same thing. All right, what's the exact same thing? Same thing that I did down there when I was looking for my buy, right? Technically, this is a what? An uptrend on the 15-minute time frame. So what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Right? The price come up and follow the same rules. It's getting higher high, higher high. Clearly, this is the highest point. So the first thing that I'm looking for is that change of direction, that break of structure, which I got over here. Boom. Broke structure. Now I'm looking for a retest. Pull back, right? And one thing to notice, right? You know you have a good spot, a good area. What's the time frame? What's the date on this? February 10th. So I gotta keep scrolling. February 10th. Right? One thing you want to notice, okay? Notice how I went to a higher time frame, so kind of clear out the noise. Another thing you want to notice is if you see imbalanced candles. All right, guys. Now, what's an imbalanced candle? Again, an imbalanced candle is when you have a gap, right? You see these three candles right here? See this gap in between this candle, right? The wick and the next candle, right? See this gap? Must be filled. That must be filled. Must be filled. So it's a strong indication when you got imbalanced candles being formed, right? Also, that's in conjunction with that impulsive move that creates that break of structure, right? So when you got all those pieces in hand to hand, that's a good sign that you're in a good sell or buy area. So now all I pretty much need is a what? Right? Got my break. Now I just need a retest into what? My POI candle. Now, here's the thing that you guys must always remember, all right? Price will not always pull back to your POI candle, right? And this is an example of that. When price pulled back, we just missed our zone and price dropped. If that happens, all right, don't get salty, don't cry, don't get upset. Basically, all you do is wait for the next opportunity to get in the trade, right? So price didn't hit our zone. There was our POI candle up there. All right. There was our POI candle right there. That was the last bullish candle for this bearish move down. All right. So now we're in lower lows. We got our break of structure. Perfect. Boom. Remember, based on the higher time frame, we are already looking to sell. Okay. Mind you guys, this is all based on you doing your due diligence. You've marked up your higher time frames. You understand that you're in an uptrend, downtrend before, right? You got to do your homework before you just jump into trade. Okay, that's another question I always get asked. So, Steve, do I have to go on the higher time frame and identify? Yes, you do. Right? Let me ask you guys something. Does your GPS load without first calculating where it needs to go first? right? If you've ever taken an Uber, if you got a GPS in your car, whatever the case may be, right? It calculates the distance first, okay? So this is the same thing over here. You got to calculate first. You got to understand what's happening on the chart first before you go looking for your entries, all right? So you can't buy if you're in a seller market. You can't sell if you're in a buyer's market, right? So you got to mark up your charts. You got to understand what's going on first. This video is just kind of breaking down how to know when a trend is reversing. So I got that, boom, right? So again, we got our break of structure. Now we're going back down. So pretty much all I'm looking for is a nice retest, right? A nice retest right back into a what? A POI candle. We got all these pretty much equal highs, equal lows here. I got a new lower low, right? And this is just being patient with the market because it will set up. Look what it did, pulled back. And when it pulled back, look where it pulled back. Remember, it's always the impulsive move, right? So this was the impulsive move here. When this broke, that was the impulsive move here. We missed our first entry over here, right? Just missed it by here, okay? We missed it by here. No problem. It's going to happen, right? Part of the game. Sometimes you miss the bus. Next, all right, we look for another area. Yes, this consolidation here, you can trade inside of here, but I'm looking for those clean setups. So then I get another clean break. Boom. So now I'm looking for that next POI candle. All right. Where do you think my POI candle is on this impulsive move? I got two spots. I got one right here, right, during this consolidation mark, and I got another one at the top here. Right. Now, for those wondering, Steve, what about inside here? Yes, you can do that. All right. So technically, if you would have used any one of these candles, right, I just want to clarify that now. If you would have used this consolidation area to get in for your entry, yes, it can work, but it is not ideal. I want you guys to look at this example. It's a perfect example right here. When price is reversing, right, you're looking for the ideal situation. Remember, okay, the hardest part about trading, I always tell people this, the hardest part about trading is waiting for your setup to line up. That's the hardest part about trading, waiting for your setup to line up, because people think they need to trade every single day. People think they need to trade every single movement in the market. Like right now, the market's open and it's Sunday and people are already rushing to trade. All right. The hardest part is being disciplined, following your rules, and letting the setups come to you. Let it come to you. All right. Let it come to you. So check this out. Yeah, I could have taken this opportunity here, but I already know I got my POIs here. And another thing is add pending orders. Put a pending order there. All right. So let's watch. All right. Price came up. Now you see how price broke through. All right. Now this is why I always tell you guys, when price gets into your zone, wait for that price action to reveal itself. So if I'm looking for a sell, I want to see bearish activity inside that zone. If I'm looking for a buy, I want to see bullish activity inside that zone. It's either that or I go down to a smaller time frame and I wait, right? I wait for price action to reveal itself. Let me scroll, boom. So this was the area. So I know on this 5 minute, I'm in a what? I'm in an uptrend. So what would I need in order to go on this sell? Same thing. I would need price to break structure, retest, and then look for my short. If I don't get that, I don't jump into trade. If I don't get that, I don't jump into trade. And I'm glad I have this example here because I know all the YouTube gurus out there, they always like to show you the perfect, best setups, right? But as we know, in the markets, we're not always going to get the best setups. We're not always going to get everything that's perfect. That's why risk to reward is everything. right? On that buy setup down here. Where was it? I think it was around here. No, go back to the 4 hour. It was somewhere around here, right? We were risking about 17 pips. And our reward, I think it was something like this. We broke and then we came here. We were risking about 17 pips. And our reward was like over 200, right? Which is a great risk to reward. See that? Just even going up 200. Look at the risk to reward. The risk to reward, 1 to 19. So that means if you were to risk 1%, your reward would have been 19. That's amazing. So whereas over here, this would have been, let's call it, this would have been a losing trade. If you would have taken this, let's say you would have saw this bearish candle, or for whatever reason, you would have taken this. And same thing, you would have had a 17 pip or 20 pip stop loss, and you move down there and the trade didn't work out. It happens. At the end of the day, because you won that buy set up so cleanly, it still has your account ahead. Remember, your number one goal for an account is to protect your capital. All right. Let's say it gets to the next zone, and then the next zone, right? Price, you know how the market goes in your direction, but then after about 15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, or whatever, it just reverse on you. That's going to happen. You got 4 scenarios that's going to happen when you take a trade. Number 1, it's going to hit your target. Number 2, you're going to end up with a break even, right? Number 3, you're probably going to cash out earlier than you expected, right? Price just started retracing, hits your stop loss. Or number 4, you just lose the trade. Those are your options. Okay. And one thing we got to remember as traders, we are going to lose trades. We are going to lose trades. Okay. So notice to start the week off, like I said, look at GJ. Look where we're at. We're at a major supply zone on the monthly. Go down to the weekly. Boom. Right. So think about this. What do you think I'm looking for going into this week? I'm going to be looking for sell setups. I got divergence setting up. I'm in this big monthly supply zone. So before I take the sell, what do you think is the first thing I need? All right. I'm in an uptrend. What do you think is the first thing I need? I need that change of direction. I need that BOS. So break a structure, right? And during that impulsive move down, it's going to be a POI candle. I need it to retest, just like here. I need it to pull back, right? No different. I need a pullback. Matter of fact, let me get the sell zone, right? Perfect, right here. Got these examples. See? Break. So you see during that impulsive move down, it created a POI candle. And then I get the pullback to sell. Is it going to be perfect like this every single time? Absolutely not. But it gives you a high probability trade setup. And that's all you're looking for. So I need that break of structure, that retest, and then I get to look for myself. And based on this monthly setup right here, right? The last time price was in this big zone, it dropped. This was Brexit. I remember this. This is one of the worst trading days of my life. This is where I lost like close to 200 grand in like one day. I kid you not. Brexit, I'll never forget. 2016. 2016 was a rough year for, I think, the entire world. But anyways, price fell over 3,700 pips. So there's a high probability, right? It might not drop all the way for 3,700 pips, but I'm willing to bet, I'm 95% sure we're going to get at least 1,000, if not 2. Now it's just being patient. I'm watching this 1 hour, waiting for that break of structure. This is how I know the trend is about to get ready to reverse. get that retest, and then look for my sell. All right, guys, something quick, simple, easy to understand. Rewatch this video as many times as you want. All right, so I just want to drop this real quick. Hopefully you guys got some value. As always, like, share, comment, give me some feedback. If you need to contact me, you can email me or hit me up on the gram or Facebook or whatever. All right. Let me know what's up. If you're trying to get access inside our community, our group, they're always killing it. Let me go into the Discord. About to start another week. And all these damn Discord chats. Got it. Got a lot going on, but everybody always making money. We talk crypto in here, talk plays in here, people making money. So hit me up. Let me know. All right, guys. So I just wanted to go over trend reversals today, make this a quick, simple, easy video for you guys to understand. You already know what's up. It's your boy Stevenson Lindor. Let's get it. Let's go. Love you. See you guys all on the next video.